Today, we have businesswoman and activist Ziana Griot sitting down with us for our very first Teen Vogue visual podcast to tell us all about her trending business and her rise to fame. Thank you for joining us today.
The pleasure's all mine. Honestly, when thinking back, it's hard to think where to even begin, but I do know. Since I was very young, I struggled with the thought of what I wanted to be when I was older, especially as I entered high school. I began to battle with the decision of entering a more predictable field as a STEM major and being not truly satisfied, or taking a leap of faith and pursuing something I truly loved. And in the end, I did choose what I truly loved. Coming to terms with my exact purpose was something I truly struggled with, as I always battled with the choice between financial stability and taking a risk with something that I knew I would be truly happy with. Now, in the spring semester of my junior year in high school, I would become dual enrolled with Valencia and enroll in a class known as New Student Experience, and I would begin to explore parts of myself that I'd never truly dove into, and I began to consider things I'd never before. While taking New Student Experience, I discovered that I had 5 key strengths that were outlined in Clifton Strengths and gave me more direction when thinking of what I wanted to do post high school. It helps me grasp the idea that finding your purpose is so powerful, and by doing so, you will eventually find what is truly made for you. So, after a lot of soul searching and reflection, I figured out that my purpose was to encourage, uplift, and be an advocate for Black youth around the world through the arts of cosmetics, fashion, and activism. So, with these strengths in mind and a newly crafted purpose statement, I began to work for what I knew that I truly wanted for myself. I very quickly realized that in order for me to be happy with my career path that I chose after high school, I needed to create some sort of plan that combined all of the things I loved so much: fashion, beauty, and activism. Money was something I did believe was important, but I did not want that to be the sole reason for pursuing a certain career path. I knew I wanted there to be more to it than that. I recognized that I had long enjoyed hearing the stories of other people's lives and seeing how these experiences shaped them and their view on the world. I was always seeking to know more about people and make a change in some way. I had a love for taking charge and making things happen, so I decided to transform that into my purpose. My purpose is strongly linked to my command strength and my interest in enterprising, being artistic, and investigative. I've always been one to take charge and been known as a leader. My Plan interest inventory said I was enterprising, artistic, and investigative. I knew that this sort of really reflected who I was because I'm always constantly seeking to learn new things and reflect on that in order to create things in a unique and appealing way. And I'm always finding creative ways to express myself in everything I stand for. And also, I love the process of researching in order to problem solve and bring about change. Now, becoming an entrepreneur definitely was not as simple as many may think. There are so many challenges that may stand in your way and be very discouraging at times. But in the end, the journey is rewarding and something I wouldn't change for anything else. While attending Valencia, I had the chance to interview Lanisha Wolf, who's an entrepreneur and an owner of a clothing line that I loved called Honey Heavens Club. As soon as I found out I'd have to interview her for an assignment, I knew speaking with her would be something I wouldn't want to miss up on. Now, while talking to her, I got some valuable insight about what it really is to be an entrepreneur, and she let me know that there's a certain flexibility that comes with being an entrepreneur that is very unique, and your day to day tasks will vary and really depends on your business. And she also let me know that you have to be willing to give up a lot of things at times with little in return, because that's what it is to be an entrepreneur. You take risk. So, being an entrepreneur to me means being able to put your ideas and knowledge into action through your business in a way that's going to inspire others to join your journey. Responsibilities, like I said before, does really vary because it depends on your business and what your business needs day to day. So like I said, one day maybe logging inventory, the next shipping orders, the next brainstorming things for marketing. It's really just variable. So as an entrepreneur, you need to be very flexible. Now, being an entrepreneur is definitely not for the weak-hearted. You need to also not be driven by solely money. You need to be self-driven and find inspiration in your work and your passion. You also must know how to utilize what other people like and use that to your advantage to set yourself apart. And another thing you need to be is confident. You need to possess a pride and confidence in your work and be able to strongly express that through your ideas and opinions. With that being said, I have come a very long way to where I am today. My journey truly began when I entered the dual enrollment program at Valencia during my high school years. While I was in the dual enrollment program, rather than getting my associate's degree, I decided to take as many college classes as I could and transfer those credits to my four-year university after high school. I would also end up dual enrolling with the University of Florida for my senior year. Ultimately, I received 39 credits from both UF and Valencia and passed 7 AP exams and received credit for those as well. Through the end of the senior year, I would end up opening my business, Goddess Boulevard. And when the time came, I did decide to go to the college of my dreams, Howard University in Washington, D.C., to receive a Bachelor's of Business Administration in International Business. I believe that my degree was very much so connected to my command strength because I had to use my artistic ability and creativity in order to problem solve and create solutions to problems while keeping an open mind. Now, in addition to getting my degree and doing dual enrollment, I also did several other things that contributed to my experience. I would take part in 3 internships with Amazon, Aurora Skincare in DC, and I would also take part in the World Endeavors International Business Internship in Paris, France. Joining organizations is also very valuable and can help very much in your progression throughout your journey. Personally, I took part in Howard's Fashion Law Society, which helped me be able to sort of dabble in the aspects of my own personal business because the club very much so dealt with the legal aspects of fashion, and I loved that. In addition, I would also take part in the Howard National Council of Negro Women, which helped show my activist side, and I did volunteer work, organize rallies, and stage educational events. Now, once I graduated from Howard, I did decide to stray away from the typical path of someone who graduated with my degree, and I decided to full-time operate my business and truly take part in that whole process of being an entrepreneur. While my experience at Howard was amazing and something so important in my progression of being who I am today, it definitely was not cheap. And this is where planning your education becomes so important. The total cost of my undergraduate education was $125,860 after my 4 years at Howard. Yes, I said it, $125,860. Now, sitting down and creating a sort of financial plan is essential. It helps you break down the costs that will be accumulated as you earn your degree, and it's very insightful. Having multiple sources of income, even if they're insignificant, are also very important because even a spare amount of change can be very much so influential and be the difference between struggling for a week and being able to pass by. Get creative and make a hustle out of it. For me, my hustle in college was my business, but I did other small things like doing makeup or nails. And you should also be on the lookout for scholarships. So many people are unaware of how much money can be accumulated by being awarded scholarships, but that money doesn't come if you don't apply. I would know that myself. You just have to go out there and apply. Lastly, I would recommend using the resources that are provided for you at your school. It's free, and at the end of the day, you're receiving advice from people that only want the best for you and to make your time easy at your university. Don't be afraid to speak to an academic advisor, utilize tutoring, and even attend those socials you always see on flyers. There are resources there for you. I feel like I've been babbling on and on about myself for an hour now, but truthfully, as I sit here and recall this journey I'm still on, it's amazing to think how finding what you love and your purpose can really guide you and add some reason to life. Young or old, having a sense of guidance and reason for your time here on earth is so important. If 17-year-old me had been told I would be here today with a successful business and a prospering career at only 27, I don't even think I would believe it. With lots of patience, soul-searching, and drive, you too can make your dreams a reality. Don't just sit by and let life pass you by. Take your goals and run with it. Strive for what you want.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing your journey with us, Diana. We hope to have you back soon. This is Anna with Teen Vogue, and we'll see you next time.